All right, I thought I'd take it back a little bit, man, and kind of go over some old school stuff. I don't
50
know, you
years of
might have
hip hop.
touched
Why
on.
not, baby? Shit.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I don't know. Some of you might have touched on some of it, some of you might have not have. But you're known for being co-owner of the Source. How did you get involved with the Source, and how did all that come about?
I mean, I've told it a million times, but you know what I'm saying? Dave Mays, I was in Boston, you know what I'm saying? I was in the streets in Boston. You know, I had a group called the RSO, uh, and I was, heavily involved in street activity out there. And Dave Mays was going to Harvard University, a major, university in Massachusetts, in Boston. Was actually in Cambridge. So we ended up meeting. We forged a friendship. Him and three other guys put their money together and put out a one-page newsletter called The Source. I helped Dave get advertised and brought him to the hood, to a different record stores and everything. And then we ended up being real super, cool friends. And he eventually bought the three guys out. I think it started in '88. He bought the guys out in '94, made me a 50% partner with him. And then from there, man, we accomplished some of the greatest things in hip hop. And 18 years at the Source Awards, and all the stuff that we done over there, and the ups and downs, and I mean, it was a hell of a ride, But people don't realize that the Source, without the Source, a lot of shit would be different right now when it comes to hip hop. I don't know what that would be, but it wouldn't be the same for a lot of artists, and I just think it just would have been different, you know. We was the internet before the internet when it comes to hip hop.
Is there any albums that you wish would have got the 5 mics that didn't get it? Like, how many of those do you have?
There's only I think like 4 or 5, I think maybe. But I mean, the one album that should have got it was the Chronic. I always remembered that, and I think the Fugees definitely should have got it. Should have got 5 mics. Like those albums were to this day super amazing. You know. I
Classics.
mean, you know, giving albums ratings, it's all opinionated. Again, I go back to the 8 billion people on the globe and how everybody wants to follow trends and be a follower and be a part of the group. But what makes us individual, Cam, out of 8 billion people, is our ability to pick the music we like, the clothes we want to wear, the food we want. We don't have to do everything that everybody says or everybody. When it comes to music, I recommend that you don't listen to nobody. Listen to music yourself, and then you make the determination as an individual. I think people really put too much into like rating albums when to me music is so individual. There's something about music that I may love. It could be the smallest thing of this song that you don't even hear, that you don't even, that song is whack as hell. And so you know what I mean? I have to respect that. I love what I love, you love what you love, and the other 8 billion people should love what they love. So, yeah, there was, you could say that making albums is an art form and shit. Hell yeah, there's definitely a difference from a dope ass album to a whack album, of course. But I would just recommend that everybody listen to music and determine on your own, and just don't listen to somebody whether they get stars or mics or whatever they get. Be able to uphold these things that God gave you that make you individual. Because if you don't, you're just gonna be like everybody else, a fucking robot. You know.
What was the formula you guys used to determine the 5 mics, or determine the mics?
The Source was kind of split in two sections. You had the journalists, and then you had the business. The business handled all the monies, the advertising. The journalists handled all the creative, the art directors, the writers, photographers. So that side of the office would all get together. The labels would send the albums ahead of time. Then they would individually sit and rate the album with different criterias. And they used to take those meetings serious. You know what I'm saying? The meetings, like, they be in there going at it. You know what I mean? There was only a couple of times I might have kind of put my input in it, but on the most part, I would stay out of those meetings and just let them do what they do because, You know, when you have a staff, you want everybody to feel like they're involved and feel like they're contributing. And since that was such a major part of the magazine, you know, they would be contributing majorly. But I do want to say that what people don't understand is when you get in situations like that, you know, labels who send you the album, you gotta always keep in mind that labels are paying major money a year. And they always have dope artists, but even their other artists who are just coming up, they're paying for advertisement. So if you're giving their artists 2.5 or 3 mics, sometimes they get mad at 3 or 2 mics, that could affect advertisement. So I just always want to put that in people's ears when they think about the integrity of the system. You know what I mean? You know, you got to understand that the people who are sending the albums, they are paying for advertisement. So if you're giving their artists a real unreasonable rating that they think, then you're going to have problems when it comes to the money. Just want to put that out there. A lot of people don't realize that.
Did that make it hard to
Yes. Yes, there was problems, you know. Dave would always come to me like, man, and you know, so sometimes if something was 2.5, we'd have to bump it to 3. 3 was like a safe. It's safe. Like, if your shit wasn't all that great, you know, we'll throw it to 3 just so that, you know, that they're not gonna stop fucking with the advertisement. You know? I mean, but you know, that's just how it goes. You can't, you know. Shit, imagine, how would you feel, Kim, if you paying hundreds of thousands a year in advertisement and your artist is getting 2.5 mics?
Shit, I'm gonna feel like, man, maybe I need to get another artist, man.
Either that, or like, I'm not gonna be advertising for him.
Or that, yeah.
You know, at one point we was getting like $1 million a month in advertisement.
Damn.
Sometimes over, yeah. Yeah.
Another thing you guys were really huge for is the Source Awards. You know, how did all that start?
I mean, I had a major part to do with that. I think, and believe it or not, the Grammys just wasn't giving hip hop its just due, being disrespectful as far as this genre of music that's making a lot of money and, you know, and really becoming, back then it was on its way to become the #1 genre. Now it is. But, you know, because the Grammy wasn't showing no respect with their awards, we felt like it was time that we, you know what I'm saying, gave the people their just due and have our own awards for our own culture, because the Grammys culture isn't our culture. The people that work at the Grammys, the governor, board, and all, they are not us. They are nowhere near us. They only fuck with hip hop now is because of the money and because of how far hip hop came and how it crossed over. But if we give it to them, they would never be fucking with, you know, black guys with dreads and braids and tattoos and no, hell no.
The Source Awards, it had quite a few big moments. Were you there when Suge Knight gave his, you know, infamous speech?
I executive produced every Source Award and was there every step of the way, behind the scenes, making everything and putting out fires everywhere. See, I was the fire extinguisher. I was the fireman. You know, because you gotta understand the Source Awards, you're allowing these guys to come from the street and they're coming with 30, 40, 50 of their guys, not just Suge and them, everybody. Everybody that comes is bringing their whole crew from the block. It's the Source Awards. So we gotta try to accommodate everybody without pissing anybody off. And, you know, the Source was just a bunch of college kids. I was the streets. So I'd have to be the in-between in a lot of this to kind of make shit happen, you know, without shit going down. But I was right there when Suge did what he did, you know what I'm saying? And it was very tense. Thought it was going down. But I always say this, Snoop Dogg, you know, the Snoop Dogg kind of saved the day. I think what Snoop Dogg said kind of diffused it on both sides. And, you know, we're just happy that no one got hurt, you know what I'm saying? And we got through it. A very legendary Source Awards. Because you gotta understand, that Source Awards is where Death Row performed with everybody at the same, everyone, all of them. Dogg Pound, Quick, Snoop, everybody. You know, Rage, everybody at one place. Got to see everyone. That's rare. Same thing with Bad Boy. Everybody. Big, Total, 112, C's, the Junior Mob. I mean, everybody from both of the biggest, you know, at that time, labels came to perform. And that, to me, why it'll always be legendary. because I was a fan of both. So I got to see everybody up front close.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.